wish I could give you the tea, but mine's just a little bit tart, and that's why it's called Leah's Lemonade. And I'm super excited because I'm connecting with an old friend. I feel like we friends, sis.
Yeah, we besties at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been years. I got Tink in the building, and I'm super, super proud of you because literally we met in 2015 when you were just starting out. Literally, I just told your manager you had just released Ratchet Commandments, and I remember we were going over them. So it's been some time, sis.
Yes, it's been a while, but look, it's so much growth in the past. Yeah. Is that about like 8 years?
Yeah, let's not count.
So much growth, you know what I mean? And I love the fact that, we come back together. It's at a different level every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so, first of all, I got to call myself out because in college, you came by the radio station and I was excited. Listen, I had my part ready. Now, my management at the time, they did not. And I remember they didn't have your song in the system. And I told you, listen, you remember that? And I said, Tink, I promise when you come back, I'm going to be a manager and I'm going to have your music in the system. And you came back and I was like, okay.
That's a real life story. I remember that day.
Yeah, because I felt embarrassed as hell.
No, but you know what? That's like all a part of the journey. You know what I mean? We have our days and we come back stronger every time and better every time.
Yeah, no, and speaking of stronger, you've come back like crazy. The flowers that you're getting now, it is amazing to watch your transition. And, first of all, I mean, let's talk about it. Thanks for Nothing literally out there, word for word. How does it feel when you get in these audiences, you're going on tour, and people are singing your music?
That's the best feeling. And, the fact that I really just dropped that album maybe a month ago, that's what kind of makes everything kind of crazy because they're singing every record word for word. But, my fans are different, and they're really, like, dedicated, and, the love is just there. Mm-hmm. That's all the support that I need.
Yeah. And speaking of the album, one thing I appreciated about it is a lot of R&B girls sing for love, right? And all the songs are about love, but in a different way. Because I'm a single woman, right? I haven't necessarily had the best experiences. So I appreciate an album that talks about real shit in relationships.
Absolutely. I need my albums to hit like that every time. I think that's just my brand that I've kind of built, being honest and raw. And coming from Chicago, we got a street element. I have a street element to my music, so the girls just relate on a special level, and I don't sugarcoat shit. And I think, women across the world just can appreciate that, and that's why the album was Thanks for Nothing, because, single women, we need an album that pops, helps us pop our shit too.
Yeah. No, and I appreciate that because the intro had me by a chokehold. I was like, ooh. Immediately, it told me, like, this is the album for me. You know what I mean? I can't always relate to love and a good man. Sometimes these Negroes be toxic.
Absolutely. And I feel like in music, we need that part too. Like, I feel like a lot of men, they have so much aggression in their music, and, it's all over the radio. We need more women that can just come through and, like I say, help us pop our shit and, give us a playlist to talk our shit about these niggas.
Because it's a lot of bullshit going on, okay?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and then also, like, the transition, because, you had Pillow Talk before, then you come here and you give us this, like, edgier, like, this is that shit. What about, like, you and your life evolved from, I'm in this soft, eloquent, like, real lovey type of vibe to fuck you niggas?
Yeah, that was the whole reason I had to kind of come back with a big bang, because Pillow Talk was such just a loving, cuddly, sultry album. And I know my fans, my day ones, they know that I really, I love to pop my shit. So I just wanted to go back to my roots and really feel comfortable, just telling niggas off. And that's why the album just really hits different, because it was needed.
Yeah.
Coming off of Pillow Talk, I wanted to really come back with a bang.
Yeah. And one thing I will say about you, too, that I think that makes you stand out among, like, any of the R&B girls particularly is the pen, right? I think the way that you're able to convey a story through every single song that you write is very telling, and hence why you drop an album in a month. People are singing it word for word because it resonates. What is it like, the writing process like for you? Because I think it's so different compared to a lot of the artists we see right now.
For sure. My process is really simple. I like to write, when I'm writing my records, I like to write them alone. And I can do it at a studio. Sometimes I'm in my kitchen at my table, and it feels personal because I'm not really, like, allowing other people in on my craft. So sometimes, when you have too many people in the room, the music starts to sound like something else. So I like to really dive in it by myself, and they'll tell you, like, I have at least just like two people in the studio when I'm working on my shit. So it's really just honest, and I get to kind of be open because nobody's like telling me what to say or hovering over my shoulder. And yeah, I like to take my time, and like you say, it's a story every song. So, you know, sometimes I'll take inspiration from a friend, or, you know, I'll get on the phone with my girlfriend like, hey girl, what's going on? How you feeling? Right. And, you know, you got to keep that street element. Like, you know, she used her slang, and I take, you know, I try to keep everything real as possible. Yeah. So it feels like, you know, current, and, you know, I don't sound like I'm just in another world in Hollywood. I sound like I'm still in Chicago. So
yeah, and I think that's why people resonate with you so much, because there's this element of like, this is what I'm really feeling right now.
Yes, I never want my music to sound like, you know, I moved away and I'm not in today. You know what I mean? Like I'm in Hollywood or LA all the time. It has to sound like Chicago, and, you know, that just resonates for me.
Yeah. Well, I was also going to say, too, that you're very private, though. So I think that, like, your music is refreshing because we really dive into, like, who you are as a person without always knowing your business.
No, that's very true. I love my privacy. I feel like we give so much away. I give so much away in my music. You know, I like to keep something sacred, especially in today's time with the internet being so crazy. You know, every day we dealing with people judging us, or, you know, trying to put two and two together. So I had to keep some sanity and, you know, keep some things personal so that I can, you know, have a little peace.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also love that, you know, even through this entire journey since I met you, where you're at, being independent now, the way that you're coming forth, I think it's a testament to you as an artist, right? All the hurdles and things that you've been through, you've been able to prosper independently. What does that feel like for you?
That's the best feeling, sis. You know, I don't owe a nigga nothing, not a dime. You know what I mean? I think for a long time, me being signed to a label, it was just a lot of pressure, and now it's just like, it's fun. You know what I mean? I'm having a great time in the studio. I'm literally making music with, you know, my friends, and my team is all from Chicago. It's just fun now, and that's the best way you want to, you know, live your life. It's like, I don't want this to feel like work or draining. You know, that's the beauty about this. Being independent, I'm in front of my business. I'm on top of it. And it just works better for me this way. I'm a, you know, just a free thinker, and I have to be, you know, the boss.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I love that for you. Okay, so we all know one of the songs that the girls love on your album is Toxic. So we're gonna have to play a little game. It's called Too Toxic, right? So I'm gonna give you a scenario, and you tell me if it's too toxic for you in a relationship. Okay. Okay. All right. Is it too toxic if he is checking your phone?
That's not toxic.
You okay with your man checking your phone?
I'm cool. We can swap phones. I feel like, you know, unless I was doing something sneaky, I would be like, no, don't check it. But, you know, we should be able to trust each other, you know.
If you ain't got nothing to hide, then you should be able to check the phone.
And I like to keep things free, so it's not like what you doing every day or who you talking to. Right. You know what I mean? We still have our own lives, so that's cool.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is it too toxic if he only likes to text?
That is too toxic. I feel like, especially with me being on the road a lot, you have to pick up that phone when I call you. You know, you can be doing something, anything, and just shoot a text. So communication is key for me. Yeah. I need to talk to you. I need to FaceTime you sometimes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Is it too toxic if he doesn't get along with his mother?
I feel like it can be a flag. You know, because how you treat your family or the ones closest to you is how you're going to treat your woman. You know, I want my man to have a good relationship with every woman in his life. And, you know, that just kind of resembles how he's going to treat you. Yeah, I'm the same. I want you to love your mama so you can love me. Okay. Is it too toxic if he believes you should split the bill on the first date? So, I don't want to say that that's toxic, but... You know, if you would really like to impress a woman, you know, I'm gonna need you to come through on that first bill. The first date, you want to leave a good impression. You want her to go home and tell her girls, like, girl, he did everything, he paid for it. Now, and every time, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be moments. Your girl got to step up, but the first night, please cover that bill. Please.
It's a little too toxic. I got you. Is it too toxic if he wants you to be in a poly relationship?
That's too toxic for me. I'm kind of understanding because in 2023, y'all, it's just a different era right now.
Right.
And I don't judge nobody because what works for some, you know, what works for you is what works for you. But I'm so selfish with mine, girl. I'm mad at it.
Never.
You can't even look at my nigga too long. So that's too toxic for me.
Yeah. Too toxic for me too. Go to hell. Anyway, is it too toxic if he don't listen to your music?
Yeah, that's too toxic. I need my man to support me, and I need him to be just as excited about my music as I am. That's a big thing for me, the support and, you know, being a fan. You know what I mean? Same way I want to be a fan of my man and what he loves to do. You got to support me all the way.
Period. Well, listen, you have sold this show out. Cut up on stage, perform. So I ain't gonna hold you long, but let everybody know where they can keep up with you. And you gonna have some more coming out. I know you're a storyteller, so the music is always gonna flow. But you got that project out right now. So tell everybody where they can get it and follow you.
My album, Thanks for Nothing, is available everywhere: Apple, iTunes, Spotify. Check that out. Stream it down, and of course, follow me on my socials, Official Tink. And always just look out for me. I'm on tour. There might be another leg of the tour coming soon. You know, it's a lot of cities I still didn't get to touch. So keep up with me, y'all. Stay in tune with me, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, lemonade stand, grab a cup, throw it back, and sip on all of that.